Want to grow on TikTok? Join our agency for support with expert mentoring, stream protection, and audience growth. It's time to level up. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to join today.
It's Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by former British and European cruiserweight champion Jack Massey. Jack, how you doing, mate?
I'm all good, mate. All good. Getting ready for Christmas.
I should have said Commonwealth as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you got that one in.
I didn't. I always struggle because I always think, if he's got a British, probably had the Commonwealth as well, but I'm never totally sure. But yes, British, Commonwealth, and European.
No, European. Just European and Commonwealth.
Oh, European, so you never had the British?
No.
Okay.
No.
Messed up twice in the first 2 seconds.
It's a good start.
Yeah. But you did bid for the world title. I know that for sure. Back in October against Jai Opetaia, mostly recognised as the number one in the division. Obviously, it didn't go your way. But how did you find it, the step up in levels?
Yeah, it was a big step up. He's, we found out how good he is. And he's very, very good. He's very clever. And yeah, for me, he'll beat everyone in that division. I think he'll take all them belts. And I think he'll do similar to what Usyk did. I think he'll win everything. And I think he'll look to move up because I think he has talked about it in the past anyway. So he's what you call an elite fighter. He's elite. He's I don't see anyone giving him trouble like your Zerdos or anyone. So yeah, I think he beats everyone and looks to move up, I reckon.
How frustrating is it when you're in there with someone like that and you're trying different things, you're changing the game up, and you still can't make much headway against him?
Yeah, it's difficult. The southpaw alone, I was struggling with it. And yeah, it was just, I was trying to counter him and he was countering my counters, and he was just getting on top and, catching me with shots and, struggling to let my hands go, not finding, what I wasn't in range. He wasn't there to be hit. It was very frustrating at times, but it's one of them things Joe said to me before the fight. These fights, there's always an opportunity, always sort of puts, arises, and sometimes in these fights you'll find it. And I can remember I hit him. We was practicing shooting the right hand as he was coming off to his left, and if you watch the fight, I can't remember what round it was, but I hit him with a right hand and it worked perfect. Just shooting it to my right a little bit, and I caught him, and it just didn't even faze him. And I thought, oh shit, that was my that was my shot. But yeah, it was frustrating at times, and I'm a lot of people know I'm very tough. I could have stuck in there, and Joe, I think Joe made the right decision throwing the towel in. We did have a little word in the corner after the fifth. I got a cut there on my eye, which it was a head clash, and I've never had it before. I've never had blood running directly into my eye. I've always had cuts below my eye or just on the side there. And it was the first time in a fight where I couldn't see out the eye. It's a weird feeling. I try not to make it obvious by rubbing it or try to rub it on his shoulder in the clinch, try to be sneaky. And his corner got onto it because they were telling him to throw the lead hook over the top, and he got onto it, and I thought, oh, shit. So yeah, I went back to the fifth, and Joe sort of said, oh, he's struggling to see out of the eye. I said, yeah. He said, right, I'm pulling it. I said, no, fuck that. Excuse my language, but he said, right, I'll give you one more round, see how you are. And then he just, up the gears, put it on top, and and then the towel came.
You obviously did all the research, watched tape of him beforehand, had the game plan A, B, C. What was he better at when you got in there than you anticipated?
I think he was a little bit more clever than I thought, a little bit more sneaky, and like I say, countering my counters and finding these shots. And to be honest, I went in there thinking he was just a bit more of a bully fighter, which he is at times. But I think he boxed very, very clever. I think he had our game plan worked out, which we messed up. Saying on interviews before the fight that I'm always there at the end of fights, finishing strong. We thought we could finish him, get him the back end of the fight, and I think that's why he started off a little bit faster. But yeah, a little bit smarter than I thought. Not just a bully fighter, and very accurate. Very, very good on his feet, and just an all-round good puncher as well. So just an all-round good fighter.
What positives do you take from the fight? I mean, obviously he's still number one in the division, and you've hung in there with him for 6 rounds, regardless of the result.
Yeah, I think the positives are a little bit like the Parker fight. It's that wasn't my weight. I've lost to this former world champion who's gone on to beat everyone. Fighting Opetaia, you're not just fighting a world champion, you're fighting an elite fighter. So you've lost to an elite, he's the cruiserweight division's Canelo or Lomachenko or whoever, do you know what I mean? He's an elite fighter. So, we can bounce back. And I was straight in the gym after, and I just wanted to get back in there and just get in the gym and work on things and, where things went wrong. And yeah, it was, it's probably given me more of a push than anything. But yeah, like I say, I've lost to the best of the best there, and it's I believe I can be back up at that level and beat any of the other guys.
Well, yeah, if you get another world title shot, it's very unlikely to be against anyone anywhere near as good as Opetaia. Yeah. I think it's fair to say.
That's it.
Your eyes healed up well.
It's healed up nice.
Yeah. When are you likely to be back out, do you think?
We're probably going to say March next year now. So March, get back in the mix and then see what's there. So yeah, looking forward to a big year next year. There's some big fights to be made. Obviously, Billam-Smith lost, defending his world title and fighting for a world title. So I think that's a big fight. What makes sense? Big domestic fight. We've both been on each other's radars since we started. In the professional ranks, since meeting in the ABA finals. We've both lost at world level, so it makes sense to fight each other and get back up. The winner sort of goes back up and fights for a world title, I'd say.
And on terms of the domestic scene, where does Richard Riakporhe fit in now after that defeat to Billam-Smith?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I've heard whispers of him moving up. People have mentioned fights with Lawrence Okolie. I know he's gone up to heavyweight. But I'm not sure what he's doing. But that's another fight. That's another good fight for me. Obviously he got the win over me in 2009 for the British title. So that's a fight I've always wanted as well.
And you mentioned Okolie there, your stablemate, and he has moved up to heavyweight, made his heavyweight debut at the weekend, just gone. Didn't last very long. So we can't tell much from that, apart from the fact he can still punch, which I think we probably knew. What do you make of his prospects up at heavyweight?
Yeah, I think he gives everyone a problem. He's just got that style, hasn't he? To make it hard work. It's hard to let I was sparring him before, not this fight, but the last fight. And he's really hard to let your hands go on him because of his style. He's very long and awkward, and he can punch. And he was that shot what he knocked him out with at the weekend. That's his shot. It's a little step back, turns his body and rotates right through back with the right hand. It's a good shot of his, and I think he's going to give anyone problems.
You mentioned sparring there. Obviously, not Lawrence for the last one because you were going in against the southpaw, an elite southpaw. Who did you do the majority of your sparring with, Opetaia?
Yeah, we had a few lads in. It was we were struggling at first. You know, obviously southpaws we was struggling. We had a few in. Some have been over and sparred Breedis prior to his preparation for Opetaia. So yeah, we had a few in, but we was struggling. You know, it's tough to get southpaw cruiserweights at the minute, and I think Billam-Smith, I think he was struggling as well. You know, I was talking about who we'd got in, and he was asking for the details and stuff. So yeah, it was tough and it was different. You know, obviously I've never met a southpaw in the professional ranks, and you know, just them adaptations. It was a little bit tricky at first, but we was getting there towards the end of camp, and yeah, it was tough.
It must be challenging when your first southpaw opponent as a pro happens to be one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, as well as being left-handed.
I know. I said if he wasn't southpaw, I would have beat him.
That's the headline right there. You mentioned your fight with Joseph Parker earlier. He's obviously gone from strength to strength. You've served as something of a springboard for him. I'm not sure how that makes you feel, but
yeah,
he's
that, can't we?
yeah, he's going in now with Daniel Dubois. A long overdue world title shot, a lot of people would say, for Joe. What do you make of that fight?
Yeah, it's I think it's going to be a great fight. You know, both guys don't, you know, they let the hands go. They don't hold the punches, and you know, Dubois, I'll probably say a bit more of a bigger puncher than Parker, but Parker's got the movement and the speed, and I think that can cause Dubois some trouble. So, but he looks a lot bigger, Parker. You know, I've been watching his videos and in his training. Yeah. It looks like he's gone quite a lot bigger. So, you know, he might be carrying a bit more punching power now, but you know, Dubois can take a shot, and so can Parker. But it's it's a very interesting fight. I'm looking forward to it. It should be good.
Who'd you fancy if you had to pick?
It's a tough one. Depends which Dubois turns up. I think obviously he'll be full of confidence from his previous fight. So it's a tough one. I'm going to go for Parker. I want Parker to win. Just obviously that's my little bit saying I've been gone 10 rounds of Parker.
Yeah, well, especially if he stops the ball before the 10th.
See the ball roll. It's nearly as bad as Carl Frott saying he's boxed in front of 80,000 fans. I just said, gone 10 rounds of Parker.
I think you got a way to go, yeah. No disrespect to Frotch if he's watching.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a even bigger heavyweight fight coming up in what are we, the 12th today? So 9 days' time. Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk's rematch. We've obviously seen a few bits of both men in the build-up. Not too much talking, but we've seen some clips of them in the gym and so on. What do you take from the first fight, and how similar do you think the rematch will be?
I don't know. I think depending it depends what mindset Fury's in. But I just got a funny feeling Fury can come back and he can pull us off. I just got a weird feeling that he might have knuckled down and he's going to take the fight a little bit more serious rather than dicking about in the ring and you know, doing what he did last time when he got caught, didn't he? You know, he was dicking about with his hands down, and I think he's going to be in a different mindset. But Usyk's he's just elite, isn't he? He's just a great fighter, one of the greats of our time. So it's a really tough one to call. But like I say, it depends which Fury turns up.
And you talked about Usyk there. In an interview we did before Billam-Smith against Zerdo, Chris said that Opetaia is nowhere near as good a fighter as Usyk, because obviously a lot of people comparing the two. I know you haven't been in with Usyk competitively, but what do you make of that comparison?
Yeah, I'd say he's right on that. Yeah, I think I think he's still getting better and better. As you watching, his fights go on. Obviously, he's struggled to get those big fights because everyone's avoiding him. So obviously, the bigger, the better fights, the better you get. And I think he's showing that he's getting better and better. He, especially with the Breeders fights, he looked the second fight. He did look a little bit, like he was fading out towards the end. But I think he's come back from that. He's learned from that, and I think each fight he's learning more and more. And I think he's one of them fighters where you'll just see him progressing all the time. A little bit like my mate Parker. Do you know what I mean? Just
Did
like
you fight Parker? How many rounds was it?
What's that?
Wasn't Wembley, was it?
Just I think he's just going to keep getting better and better and better. So, some fighters are different. Some fighters are really, really good at the start and they're a bit of a flash in the pan, and then they start to decline. But I think he's one of them what's a bit like Usyk, just sort of getting better and better and better. Figures it out, and more rounds under his belt and more big fights under his belt. I think he's going to progress. So I don't think he's near Usyk's level, but could he be in the future? I don't know. Maybe.
Now, while in the ring, it didn't go your way last time out. What was your experience like of being on Riyadh Season show, the whole kind of spectacle, how it's organised, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it was a great experience just being out there. It was, I've never seen production like it. Obviously they've got the money to do it, haven't they? So, but yeah, it was tiring at times. There was something on, something to do every single day. But it was great, and it's all memories. You got to take it all in, and it's memories to be made, and even before the fight. So it was it was a great experience.
And without getting into specifics, career best purse by far?
Yeah.
Have you spent any of it yet?
Nearly all of it.
Oh, right, fair enough.
No. I'm pretty savvy with my money. I'm not a flashy guy. We'll look to move out the house and get a bit of a bigger house, and we've got a little one now, so we need a bit more room. There's house is just taken over by toys and stuff, so we need a bit more storage.
At least you're ready for Christmas by the look of it. How old is your baby now?
She's 18 months.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so hands full.
Has it been good getting to spend more time with her since the fight?
Yeah, it has. It's been brilliant, to be honest. It's it's good. It's good, obviously, this time of year as well. She's getting to that age where she knows what's going. She's just started saying Christmas. So, yeah, she'll know what it's all about a little bit. So, yeah,
what are you hoping to get for Christmas?
I don't know. What for?
Dropped any hints with your missus?
What's on the list? To be honest, I'm terrible. I'm really hard to buy for. I'm like, she's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, I don't even know.
Oh no.
I know.
As long as you get her what she wants, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the tricky bit.
Yeah.
Brilliant, mate. I really appreciate your time. Look forward to you getting back in March. And
thank you very much.
Always appreciate having you on the channel.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Take care, Jack.
Cheers, pal. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.